Okay, First Alert Meteorologist Darren Peck is here. I have a request from a lot of people. Can you go into that little weather center of yours, your control room, and hit the stop the wind button?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Done.
It's just not going to happen until tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And it's not going to turn off completely.
All right.
But it's going to get a lot
better.
There's a delay. Right. There's a delay in your request. It is going to get better. Before I get to it's going to get better and how it's going to get better, this is what we still have. So on the one side of this, if you look at the areas in pink out there, the entire Central Valley, that is a red flag warning, meaning fire weather is elevated and people have to be extra aware. Look how close this gets to the bay. I've just put one locator on here for the wind. I know it's been windy in your part of the bay. We have 50-mile-an-hour gusts again going over Altamont Pass. So when we talk about the part of the bay that is dealing with the power, not the public safety power shutoffs, and we take a look at who's got to deal with that, it's all of these areas back here where you've got the grassy hills. Look at the map. Here's the Bay Area. It's kind of light on here, but you can see there's the bay, there's the city. This is somewhat more like drilling down into the details of where these public safety power shutoffs are, everywhere in pink. And when you take a look at the topography here, you've got the Tri-Valley here with like 580 going through. These are all the hills, all those grassy hills. And then, of course, here's getting into the Central Valley. It makes perfect sense when you look at that landscape. Here's a look at one vantage point from Highland Peak looking out over the grassy hills. Anything below 2,500 feet in elevation, meaning where all the grass is, it's very much fire season. That stuff dried out quickly, and it's been very hot out there. May and June were well above average temperature-wise. But if you can get above 2,500 feet, you turn that camera around on Highland Peak and look to the north, the vegetation above that level is still doing okay. And this is the stuff that will then become a concern as we get into late July, August, and September, and maybe even October, depending on how long it takes for the rain to get here. Let's answer Ryan's question. Let's get rid of the wind. Watch the progression of today. We started out today, it wasn't that strong, and then it really picked up again. And if you look at where we are here, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour, this is the peak wind. This is about as strong as it has been all day. Purple's 50-mile-an-hour gust out there. But right along the coast, it's been hitting 40, and then everybody else, pick out your part of the bay. Look how it picks up here as you go through the hills. Altamont Pass sits out here, and that's where the winds really start gusting through that topography. Here's how it's going to get better. You look at what's set up off the coast of California. You'd never see it on the regular satellite, but there is a weak little area of low pressure right here. We really see it when we look at the water vapor, and now you visualize what's happening. You've got this counterclockwise spin going into the Pacific Northwest. All the wind rushes around that thing to get pulled into it. As it rounds the base of it, right here, look what's happening for us. We're right caught in the middle of that. So as this low moves on shore, it's whipping the wind right through the Bay Area. That's one simplified way of thinking about why it got so windy over the last 2 days. Good news is that is clearly onshore flow. These winds, and it's relatively humid out there. We're not drying the atmosphere a whole lot from this. It's just very windy on grass that's already dried out. And very windy for your part of the bay, even if you're not worried about the grass catching on fire. You just got to get out in this stuff. It's going to get better by tomorrow, and that's the good news on the forecast, because that low is going to move far enough inland. It's going to stop messing with us, and things will get better. All right, let's clear out what we're looking at in terms of where the red flag warning is. We'll say goodbye to Altamont Pass, and now what we want to take a look at is what happened in the marine layer. That's it. See it? Let's go down the coast there. Go all the way down to San Mateo County coastline. There's not a lot left of this. So, and it's not coming back tonight either. So we're not doing June gloom. Tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up, you're going to have clear skies, and as a result of that, let's get the numbers on here. This is your forecast for tomorrow. We'll visualize the temperatures. There's no difference here. These numbers are pretty much identical to what you've been doing. And that's really what's going to be happening here over the course of the next 7 days. We're not really going to be changing this forecast a whole lot. So let me show you what it looks like when we look at the 7-day forecast. We'll start out with our inland microclimate. Temperatures on here are going to level off, low to mid 80s, and stay there. So you remember what we were doing for like the first 2 weeks of June? Wasn't getting hot, wasn't terribly windy. We're going right back to that. And much of the next 7 days is going to look and feel very familiar in that regard. And of course, for the Bay, we'll finish that forecast as well. Here are your numbers following a similar trend of stability.